All right, when it comes to injuries, we have one, which is Jake Tefeli. He had a foot. When it comes to this game, here's what I told our guys. There were three things that really stood out. Two I will keep with this man, the player, but the one that I asked our players to do, and it was to play with effort. And I thought our guys did that. I thought they wanted that. I thought they fought hard. Man, they did everything they could to keep us in this game. Now, there's a couple of things that, from an overall perspective, that we got to get better at. The one thing is they had too many plays on our side of the ball. So field position wasn't as good as I want to be, and us as a team, as a staff, we want to be. Offensively, we had way too many penalties that actually put us behind the sticks. Man, we would have a good play, put us in a good position, and then we would have a penalty. And that happened a number of times on third down plays, on early downs. You can't do that within this league and win games. And I think at the end of the game, I think we're trying to do too much as players. And I understand why, because they were trying to make plays, and then they made some plays at the end of the game. But I thought Chris did a really good job at calling this first game in a live game. I thought the guys, again, played hard. And we knew what this team was. We knew at the beginning of the game, man, that was our chance to really try to get up on this team. We knew in the second half, if you look at the numbers, that's who they were, a team that really exploded in the second half. And they did exactly what we all knew they would do. And we have to do a better job of understanding that and playing to that. And that's my job to continue to help these guys be able to understand that. So, listen, we got 2 more games left, and I want to continue to play with effort like we did. It sucks that you lose a game. It does. Regardless of the situation, it sucks. But we have to get back to work next week, continue to play with effort, and continue to find ways to help put our guys in positions to be successful. I know you guys hear that a lot, but that's really the one thing that we all have to do as a staff to be able to do that. So, again, we're gonna flush this one. I clearly know exactly what happened in this game. I know you guys are going to talk about Brady. Brady did some good things, but also there were some things that he has to do better at. You know, we cannot turn the ball over, and we all know that. And he will know that, and he knows that as a quarterback anyway. So his hands on the ball all the time, and he has to protect it. But other than that, listen, we'll clean some stuff up and we'll move on. So any questions?
Why do you think the offense struggled so much? I mean, you mentioned the penalties and stuff, but
yeah, I mean that was it. You just said it. I mean, every time we had a good play, man, we would get a penalty to put ourselves behind the sticks, and you can't do that. I don't care what defense you're playing against, because it's too hard in the offense, and then it makes you more predictable in that situation where you have to pass the ball, and we can't do that to ourselves. We cannot do it.
The running game the last few weeks hasn't been as effective as it was earlier in the season. What are you seeing on that side of things?
I mean, I don't think that's a surprise. I think last week we ran for over 130 yards against the number one run defense, so I don't think that's an accurate statement. I would say yards per carry hasn't been as good as it should be. You know, I will agree with that. But, man, when you're a team that is a run-heavy team, I mean, teams are going to stack the box, and that's when we have to be better in the passing game. And that's one area that we have to improve on. And, listen, I know our young quarterback knows that. You know, everybody in the league knows that's, you know, they're going to attack our quarterback with certain blitz. I think this team did. I think they were successful on some of those, but also they made some plays in just regular 4-man rush, and they had coverage in the back end with 7 guys. So, again, we have to continue to find ways where we can run the ball and then put our quarterback in a situation where he can deliver the ball to open guys.
It seems like Brady's having a little trouble either recognizing the blitz or getting rid of the ball. You know, you seem to hold the ball a lot. Is that one of the issues there?
I would agree with that statement, and that's something that we all have to look at on tape and make sure we talk to him about, man, getting the ball out your hands as quick as you can. And plus, we have to make sure we give him options to be able to do that. So that goes both ways. You know, with him, when the options are there, man, get the ball out of your hands. And with us as a staff, for making sure we have concepts, you know, what allows him to be able to do that.
With Brady starting, is he starting so you can see what he can do, or he gives you the best chance to win a quarterback?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think he gives us the best chance to win, all right? But we also want to evaluate where he's at. I mean, that's a lot of guys on this roster we're trying to evaluate where they're at, too. So, listen, again, we had guys that was hurt, you know, other 2 quarterbacks, and we know that. But I do think he gives us a chance to win games. You know, he wouldn't be in there if he didn't give us a chance to win.
Specifically, what did you see out of Chris in terms of his calling? What did you like out of what he?
I thought he was patient. I I don't think there was anything within the way he was calling where I thought he was frazzled at all. And this team did a ton of up-tempo, so that really gave me an opportunity to evaluate how he had calls in his head going on to the next play, if that makes sense. And, there was no second guessing. I mean, listen, every game, every play caller would have a couple of calls like, man, I wish I had that back. And I know he will say that, but I would say this, there was no panic. There was no, second guessing from what I know. And I'm proud of the way he operated. I am. I thought he did a really good job, going to this week to be able to call a game against an operation like they have with so much tempo.
With the offense as stagnant as it was, AG, did you consider Tyrod in the second half at all?
You know what? No. But the thing is, we weren't stagnant until the second half. If you take a look at where we were, I think it was 9-6. So, I thought we was right there in the game, So I just thought at that time, Brady would give us the best chance to win. I thought there was the game also I've been talking about all week, that we was in a situation where, man, the game was right there for us. So I really want to see how he was going to operate. And I'm going to go back to this. The operation I thought was really good. It was the penalties that actually got us in a situation where they got us behind the sticks. And it's hard, as an offense, to try to continually get past that.
You guys didn't have an interception. Again, it's 15 games now. That's an NFL record.
Yeah.
What are your emotions about that?
I hate the fact that we haven't got an interception, but the thing is, man, we got a turnover, and then we got a fourth down stop. So those things are something that we can build on, and our guys will continue to build on that. And I want the interception just like everybody else, but to me, if we can get a turnover, that's all I care about.
Is there something you saw defensively that you liked today that you didn't see last week, for instance?
I thought we were really sound for the most part. I really did. That first half, I thought our guys did a really good job of understanding exactly what Chris was trying to do. And there are some calls that we just put in that, man, our guys executed really, really well. I think the one fumble that we got was outstanding. I think the one third down play in the red zone, which was one of our calls, and I don't want to get into that, was outstanding. And Chris called at the right time when we really needed it. But, yeah, I thought we were really sound. And that's where you started when you come to defense, man, just how sound you are. And then you start to add all the other things within that, the exotic pressures, the single backer pressure and things like that. But once you're just sound and you can make sure your gap sound, man, that's where it all starts.
Thanks.